Welcome to our Canoeing at Bon Echo Provincial Park episode. As you may know from our previous episode, we acquired a new 2S canoe last year from a fellow Airstream owner we met on our travels. Finally, it's our first time trying it. The boat is a light, SWIFT Canoe Kevlar Fusion, Propector 16 feet, and it fit pretty good on my current tow vehicle. It also traveled very nice on the road, probably making my whole setup even more aerodynamic by cutting some winds ahead of the trailer. Bon Echo is a very beautiful park, and we've been here before, but it will be our first time canoeing around its lakes. We were lucky to team up with our good friends Tricia and Brian to guide us and teach us the ropes. To kick it off, we picked a perfect weather day and headed over to Joe Perry Lake, which is accessible from within the park, but you'll have to drive about 6-7 kilometers on the dusty dirt road to get to the staging parking area. Joe Perry Lake is not at the staging point. To get to the dock, you'll need to portage your gear for about 500 meters. Fairly easy, with a bit of slope. Last time I canoed, my son was doing the portage. Thank God the canoe is light. Oh, and don't forget your bug spray. Once on the lake, we pretty much did the whole shoreline and managed to paddle 12 kilometers. That was pretty good, and our guides pointed out a few techniques to try out so we'd be more efficient on the water. Maybe we were a bit too slow? Oh well, we'll get better at this. While paddling, Brian mentioned that since the lake was a bit higher than usual, we were able to go deeper on the southern side, reaching a beaver dam. Even then, there were some spots with only a foot of water at max. The views were perfect, and it was very quiet being the only ones on the lake. For our next excursion, our other friends, the Richardsons, suggested we tackle a portion of the Kishkebus Canoe Route by driving to a boat ramp on the Shabomeka Lake and avoid the unpredictable windy Mazinaw Lake. The Shabomeka Lake is surrounded by cottages with lots of anchored boats. It must be very busy on a hot summer day. But during our visit, we were the only one on the lake, making it an amazing experience. In following the Kishkebus Canoe Route, we located the Portage Trail on the north side of the lake. The portage was short and easy, about 30 meters. Once on Kishkebus Lake, which is part of the Bon Echo Provincial Park, there were no cottages and only pure wilderness. It was very peaceful. While paddling the shoreline, we stopped at a small beach to rest. It was a perfect location for a small campfire. That was really nice. Coming back to our starting point was uneventful, and I think our technique and synchronization got better. Overall, another 10 kilometers of paddling under our belt. Bon Echo is a very popular park, and when you add the water activities on top of the available hiking and biking, you can easily spend a week there. We'll definitely be back. And with that, thanks for watching. Our next episode will cover the Airstream Summer Rendezvous in Orangeville and meandering in the Greater Toronto area. See you soon.